Ancestry, if you're listening, your users have spoken. I did an interview with Crista Cowan. I'm going to link it up here for you, but I did this interview with Crista Cowan at RootsTech, and it has been huge. It has had over 45,000 plus views and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments that are requests from your users as to features that could be added to the website. Now, they're super excited about some of the announcements that happened at RootsTech. And so what we want to do is I'm going to cull all of those comments down to about a dozen of the top most requested features. And some of them would be so easy to implement and be really helpful with our family history research. So what I'd like to do is jump over to the computer and see if we can't help the development of future features over there at Ancestry. So what I'd like to do is jump over to the computer. Let's go. Okay, here we are on the Ancestry platform on my tree. And one of the things that we really want to see is a fan chart. Now, we know that Family Search has a fan chart, and even WikiTree has a fan chart. And one of the coolest features at WikiTree is the ability to see duplicate ancestors. My ancestors, I have the same ancestors in two different branches of my tree. And the fact that they can colorize that over at WikiTree is very cool. Nobody else has that. Ancestry, please add that. Another big one has to do with ThruLines. Now, for those who are watching at home, ThruLines is built on the back of other people's trees. And the request that I hear over and over and over again is the ability to reject a line in ThruLines.
Please, I'm begging you.
Because it's delivering us a customized hint for our situation. But what people want to be able to do is to, some sort of right click and reject this so that it removes it from the view. And I know that I have talked to Crista about this, and it sounds like a very big challenge to do that because what if you want it back? I'm saying if we could ignore it like we do hints, ignore it, but then have a bucket of ignored hints or ignored lines in the tree so that we could go back and retrieve them if we find out that we are wrong when we ignored it and that we made a mistake, that we could go back and retrieve the ignored line in ThruLines. I know this one's a big challenge, but boy, I hear this one so much. It would be very helpful. Okay, this is a quick one, and it's probably like 3 all in one. So what people are asking for is to be able to search the tree by place, by birth date, by death date, or a range of time. So you've got like 4 requests in one, because right now all we can do is search by name. So we could go over to the list here. And again, we only have the name and the first name and the last name. Now, I would think this would be an easy one to be able to implement. Please, we're begging. I just want to take a break just for a moment to say we appreciate you. We as a community of genealogists and enthusiasts want to say thank you to Ancestry because the platform really is awesome and we're not complaining. But we have so many things that we want to do. So, I just wanted to say thank you. So let me jump into the next request from the users. I'm sure that you've heard this one before, but we're going to ask it anyway, and that is to add some more colors to the ability to group our DNA cousin matches. So for those who are not aware at home, our DNA cousin matches, when we go to edit and create a new group, we only have 24 colors to work with. We really like to have 3 or 4 times that in the colors. So please open up the rainbow and give us a little bit more to work with. One of the things that I teach a lot is how to use the family tree and really kind of organize your family tree in advance of grouping so that we can strategically group our DNA matches along family branches of the tree. And we can't really do that with the 24 colors because we want to go back another generation. And right now, if we're grouping by ancestral couple, I've only got 4 colors left, and that is not enough to get me back another generation. And so we want to do that. Please and thank you. The next one is simple. It is a reverse lookup of images. Let me explain from the interview that I did with Crista. I'm envisioning a reverse lookup for an image. So if somebody already has the image in the Ancestry platform somewhere, and I upload it would be great because I don't know who this Danish ancestor of mine is.
I want to identify this guy. What if, these people took these pictures in portrait studios, so that same photograph probably got handed down to several people.
Mm-hmm.
What if somebody has already uploaded that with identification, and then I could upload it and say, match it?
Yeah. It's an interesting idea. I don't know that anybody's looking at that, but you better believe I'm taking that back to the team.
So it appears that a lot of people really like that idea. So I just wanted to throw it back out there again, just in case Crista forgot to take it back to the team. Anyway, that was a popular one as well. I know we have to be kind of careful with this, but the next one, a lot of people would like a way to be able to alert other members when they have a mistake in their trees, or at least some sort of flag or some sort of alert system saying, hey, another member is suggesting that you might have this wrong. For example, my great-grandfather here, Henry Gustav Henley, his father is not John Henley. I have proven this through DNA. His father is not John Henley, although a lot of people have him listed as John Henley because there was one record that said so, and it's wrong. The record is wrong. DNA has proven otherwise. So, point being is, we know we can go and message all of these people and say, hey, but they're asking for a flag. The users are asking for some sort of flag or maybe a hint to put into those people who, like members that we have identified and said, hey, you might want to take a second look at this. Now, on the flip side of that, as the person who might be receiving one of those flags, that person should be able to ignore it and not have to worry about it again, but be able to find it in the ignored hints in case they realize, oh, wait a minute, I may have been wrong. I need to go back and look at what that person said. And maybe there's some sort of field or something that somebody can say, hey, XYZ records suggest this otherwise. I realize that can kind of start some conflicts between members, and it could be that it's an anonymous request from one member to the other, but the member who's on the receiving end should be able to ignore it and not be bothered with it again. So this was a really exciting development in 2022, this side view technology, and we're super excited and can't wait to see it split again into 4 parts so that we can see it as our grandparents. So that would be huge. And boy, is it going to be huge for those people who have tested their parents, because that's going to be big. But we can't wait for that to come out. We're getting hints that that's going to happen. So I would like the inside scoop on that, please. Okay, before I get to the number 1 most requested feature that everyone is asking for on Ancestry, I have a couple of my own that I want to toss in there. And one of them, actually, a few of them are right here in the messaging center. And it has to do with a lot of things. One is we can't search by a member's name. You can search contacts, but it doesn't really work very well. And the ability to be able to search our photographs. There's no way to search the photographs. We can't search by name. We can't search by title of image. We just have to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and see more and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll in hopes that we find the image that we want to add into our message. And so that makes it really, really challenging. It would be really great if we could create some sort of phone book or some sort of contact list for people that we are regularly communicating with. Now, we do know we have it in the Member Connect area, but having it here in the Message Center would be very helpful if I could create some sort of group like Henley ancestors and be able to message all of them at the same time. If we're working on some sort of collaboration, with one click, I could message the entire group. That would be great. Okay, one more before we get into the most requested feature that I have seen time and time again. We're going to talk about that here in just a second. But this one is to have the ability to put some sort of badge on your ancestors so that it shows up on the tree. I envision it to be more like the hints and the DNA badges that we have that kind of sit above it. We can certainly use the suffix fields in the emoji, but the problem with that is if the name is too long, those symbols don't show up. If the name is super long like this one here, you would never see it in the tree view. And the whole idea of having these on the tree view is so that you can set yourself little warnings, or this is where I left off last, or, or maybe those tree tags that we're using, maybe those could have badges associated with them so that they show up in the tree, because that would be huge. If we had the ability to show our public tree that this is an unverified person and warning, like a little warning symbol like you see here, then the people that are visiting our tree would know, oh, wait a minute, this person's not verified. Or we could have some sort of green light that it is verified so that we can have a little bit more visualization in the family tree so that people that are visiting our tree know exactly what they're looking at. And those of us who are researching our own family tree, we come back to it and we go, okay, this is where I left off last, or whatever little symbols I want to customize for my own tree. Okay, here it is. The number one most requested feature that I hear about all the time. I hear about it in comments time and time again in every video I do, it seems like, is to have a chromosome browser. We have the chromosome painter. Thank you very much. This is kind of fun, but it doesn't really help us a lot with our family history research. Now, you know that MyHeritage has a chromosome browser. That way we can compare our cousins and see where we triangulate and do all kinds of really cool and deeper dive stuff. You guys have the biggest database anybody has out there, and I'm confident that you can pull this off, and people are screaming for it. So please make that a priority. The users, it's not just me, everybody wants the chromosome browser on the Ancestry platform. Ancestry, please know we mean no disrespect. We love the Ancestry platform. That is why everyone is being so vocal about it. It is a great platform, and we are very happy to be using it and discovering some new things with our family. And so with that, I hope that you got some good feedback on that. And for the viewers at home that are watching this, please be very respectful in the comments. I do invite you to add more comments down below as to what you might have, more suggestions for Ancestry. Hopefully they'll be reading some of those comments. And just know that if they're disrespectful comments, I will be removing them. So please, constructive criticism is always invited, but ugly criticism is not. So I hope that was helpful. We'll catch you in the next video.